This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hola, Jason Glick. What's going on?
Hey, John. Well, it's like I know we're all in these weird, crazy quarantine times, but it's like thanks to the good people at cheapgraphicnovels.com, they managed to get out my special orders, and things are going to continue on as if the quarantine had never happened for the next couple weeks. So yay, that's great. Oh, thank God. And that means tonight I'm here to talk to you about something that I would have liked to have talked to you about 2 weeks ago, and that is Harleen by Stjepan Sejic. Now, little background first here. Sejic is an writer artist who's been around for a while and has done most of his work for Top Cow. That's why I haven't really I didn't pay much attention to him when he was just illustrating stuff like Witchblade and The Darkness, because Top Cow, it's like they're just it's like standard supernatural superhero TNA stuff, and it's like fuck them, I don't care. It's like, and he was, it's like, so okay, so he has made his name through working with them, and then there's a series that came out called Sunstone, which was a romance series focused around these two women who had found, it's like one of them who was a sub and one of them who was a dom, and found themselves connecting through their shared love, BDSM, it's like intercourse. And it's like, this is a series that, okay, yeah, I think I may have downloaded some of the webcomics that had come out of this, because hey, it's like, that's like lesbian BDSM sold, sir. But reading that first volume and the volumes that came after it, well, turns out that this is the rarest of rare series in my collection, as in a series that actually has a real genuine justification for the sex that the characters have together. It's all the boobies, the butts, and the vaginas. It's like there's actually a reason that we see them in the course of the series. It's like it's an actual romance focused series that actually has a good justification for the amount of sex that its characters have. And it was pretty great. I loved reading the first 6 volumes of this series, and seeing Sejic's art, because he's a guy who has he's a solid, deceptively simple line work. I mean, he's not the kind of guy who just who will draw every single crease in the character's clothing. No, he's the kind of guy who has a great eye for composition, someone who can just who knows what he wants his characters to look like in a given scene, draws the amount, draws the specific amount of lines that he needs to make that happen, and he also has the sense of shading and coloring in order to make this look realistic. I mean, it's looking at his work. It's really fascinating to just see that it's not like I said, it's not just the amount of lines that he draws. It's just that he knows where to make everything, how to make every line count, and then just have the coloring, fill in the rest to make it look wow, this is just so amazing. Seeing, gives his art a real sense of depth looking at it, and someone who looked at his work and recognized his talent, that would be DC, because they decided to because they saw that not only did they see his some of his quote unquote fan comics, which we'll get back to in a bit, but they looked at it, they clearly saw his stuff for Top Cow and specifically for Sunstone, I would think, and they thought, hey, this is the guy that we think would be great for us, and they brought him on for an arc of Aquaman Underworld, that it was the rare mainstream superhero comic that actually saw its sales go up each issue that he was illustrating. And Sejic also did I also did subsequent work for them for like issues of Suicide Squad and Justice League Odyssey, and he like him proved that he was like a talent worth watching for the company, to the point where they eventually like decided to go, hey, you know what? Okay, if you want to go ahead and like make like full length series of like about your Harley Quinn comics, it's like then hey, we'll go and like support that, because that's what Harleen is basically is a 3-issue prestige format series done for DC's Black Label series, Black Label imprint. And it's basically the mature reader's version of Harley Quinn's origin, which, it's like, if you're familiar with the character, that her creators Bruce, Paul Dini and Bruce Timm, gave us like her origin in the comic book Mad Love. It outlined like how she was a doctor at Arkham Asylum, like who fell in love with the Joker, and like basically and eventually like devoted herself to him, like just becoming his effective sidekick. Now, her story has grown beyond just being the Joker's sidekick over the years, to the point where she was properly introduced to the DC universe in the No Man's Land series way back in the mid-aughts, and then given her own series shortly after that. But at this point, Harley Quinn has basically kind of grown beyond being the Joker's sidekick. It's like both in her ongoing series and in the movies as well, such as we got Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey early this year, which I liked. It's like, even though it's it's kind of like, hey, we're just giving we're showing her being independent from the Joker. It's like, even though it's it's kind of just being really goofy and kind of frivolous, and we're kind of setting up stuff, more stuff, rather than just telling a cohesive story on its own. But still, the action was good, the comedy was funny. It's and I'd like to see more more stuff from the character in the cinematic universe. But that's digressing a bit, because we're talking about Sejic's 3-issue analysis of Dr. Harleen Quinzel's origin, because it's basically the same kind of origin that we got from Dini and Tim, only it's diving in more to the more you say, unsavory and adult portions of that origin that this implied. Because when we meet Dr. Harleen Quinzel, it's in the beginning of the series, she is a doctor giving a presentation about how excessive exposure to stressful situations will damage an individual's fight or flight response, to the point where it just causes them to lose their sense of empathy. It's where they're just going to focus on their own self-interest. And then she's giving this at a psychiatrics conference in Gotham City, and most of the people there listening are just kind of indifferent. And then there's one guy who just kind of listens to it and then just kind of walks out in the middle of it. And after she hears this, she goes through the rest of her speech with just the kind of same kind of diligence you'd expect. But then she's just shown after it, just drinking at a bar, talking to her friend Chandra about, oh god, they just didn't listen to me. Oh god, it's I can feel my career imploding from here. She's just really depressed, and when she's walking home, well, she happens to walk right into one of the biggest confrontations you'll have in Gotham City. The Joker is just rated like an arms depot, or just your average ammo shop, and he's just going, and he's going to town with his friends. And then when he sees this poor helpless woman just cowering before him, he's pick the hell of a night for a walk, did you? And it's like, even though I say that, like, Sejic has, like, he's got a simple, like, sense of line work, but like I said, but at the same time, it's like, he knows how to compose things. In the sense that, he knows, like, where to put the lines in order to make everything have maximum effect for a reader. And that moment when the Joker, like, sees Dr. Quinzel, like, cowering in the street. Well, this is one of those instances where it's like this is kind of like a beautiful, glorious sense of his composition, because after he says that to Harleen, we see a double page spread of Harleen on one page, kind of like afraid of, like, the Joker, who is, like, got his, like his 45 pointed right at her head across from the other side of the page. But at the same time, we've got, like, like, Harleen's, like, life flashing before her eyes in panels between them. So you've got, like, her, like, talking about what she wants to be, like, going on, then, like, being talking about maybe she wants to be like a psychiatrist, or maybe she doesn't like younger guys, or maybe she likes hanging out with her doctor, her professor, who she's like likes them so much she's, like, kind of sleeps with them, and then someone catches them together, and then she gets a reputation as someone who was, like, slept with every one of her teachers. It's like, even though she's, like, eventually hired, as a doctor. It's like when Sig, like, has a great idea about, like, how to like, display an idea that's just beyond, like, what's just going on the page. It's like, it's great. I mean, there's, like, later on in the volume, when you see like, Harleen just, like, fantasizing about being the person who lifts the Joker up from being, consumed by all the awful temptations of Gotham, or when she finally makes that, like, final fateful decision to commit to being it's like a villain, such as it is. It's beautiful. It's like, I mean, the art in this series is absolutely top notch. I mean, it's like even, like, these are, like, 3, like, extra size issues, like, from Sejic. The entire volume is filled with, like, beautiful artwork from him. And I guess, it's like on that level, if nothing else, it's like it's worth picking up just for that, to appreciate Sejic's art. But then again, I don't know. It's like, I guess if you're like me, and if you've only known him from Sunstone, then yeah, he's a fantastic fucking artist. So, and so there you go. It's like, I mean, like, I guess, hey, that's it, everyone. It's like, call it quits. It's like, hey, you like great art, buy this. It's like, good night, good luck, peace out, everyone. But, well, how does the story go? Well, okay, yeah, like, I like the I mean, when he does those, like, great double page spreads, when he's got, like, a great idea behind them, it's fantastic. But if anything, I think that Harleen kind of suffers from my own expectations. Yes, that's right. It's like, I am the real villain here in this story, because this is a story about, like, the Joker, how the Joker came to know Harleen. It's like how they, it's like just like a deep, mature reader's fleshing out of that original Denny and Tim story. But when you had these 3 issues going, I kind of had this idea how they would go, because the first issue would show how Joker and Harleen came together. The second issue would show, hey, it's their glory days together, the good times, when Joker and Harleen were in love, mad love, so to speak. And then the final issue would just show like Harleen realizing that the Joker is just kind of, like, no good for her. It's like, and eventually breaking up and just going out on her own. That's not what happens here. The Harleen is basically a graphic novel length version of that first issue that I told you about. It's all about like Harleen, Dr. Quinzel, like just working her way into Gotham, into Arkham Asylum, just like trying to like interact with the like with the other inmates, just finding just on proof about her theory that like excessive exposure to like stressful situations, because what's the situation is more stressful than being a villain in Gotham? Because hey, that there's this guy dressed as a bat that's gonna come down on you any second now. Seriously. So like, I mean, what's more stressful than that? It's like, so there you go. It's like she thinks like and she thinks that she's got like the best it's like the best studying grounds for this, like for her theory. But in the end, it's all about like the Joker. It's like it all comes down to the Joker and how she realizes that hey, maybe I'm the person who can save him. It's like maybe I'm the one person who understands him. It's like because it's like the Joker spared her that night, and it's also kind of worth mentioning that at the end, and I liked how DC offered like some insight into like Sejic's other comics that he had done. Like it's like his whole creative process really that I like. I kind of wish that we'd seen more about like more of this kind of stuff in like other comics, like because like the journey into madness that we get at the end of this volume isn't really as interesting as the like sketches we get from other comics as like in the same thing. But what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, that's right. Because the Joker, because like I mean with Sejic's methodology for the series. I mean, in the like in his like in the making of sections, he talks about how this is basically a corrupted version of the it's like of the Harley Quinn romance like novel type stuff. It's like here we've got like I mean where that those kind of stories involve a like a guy who is like he's bad. It's like he's no good. But the woman, like she can save him. She can tame him. She can she can hold on to it. She can like tame his wild impulses and make him into a good, decent person. That's that's the kind of story that's the kind of like a trope that he's operating here, except it's a corrupted version of that. Here, it's like the bad guy is really bad. It's like he's the kind of guy who knows how to push all of her buttons to give her what she's looking for, and she can win her over to his side. It's like it's the story of the bad guy who convinces the girl who's going to save him to be a bad girl as well. And it's like we don't really have enough stories like that I kind of that I can kind of appreciate that kind of story being told here. And it's like I think it kind of works overall, even though it's like I don't know, it's like like this the story is just kind of like all about it's like the fall really. It's like and to the point, and even then like say cast like bring in like additional stuff in order to like fill out the pages, because hey, in addition to Harleen's origin, we also get a proper origin his origin for Two-Face as well. And if you know the story of him being, hey, it's like he was splashing face with acid by Sal Mulroney, like one of the Gotham's like many criminal people. It's like, well, it's kind of the same here, even though he throws in a bunch of vigilantes, the executioners, to it's like to liven things up as well. It's like it's just really necessary for like Harleen's origin, kind of. If you can completely buy into her, like to her final climactic fall in the last issue, then yeah. But I don't know. It's like I don't think we necessarily needed It's like like the Harvey Dent origin of the story in the story as well. Even though I will admit that, well, like Sejic does do a pretty great Harvey Dent, it's like as well. I mean, overall, I guess it's like I think that that Sejic's writing like is pretty solid. It's like and he does a good job of of convincing us of how Harleen's fall like would take place. I mean, the way he works in like familiar stuff, like how she eventually gets to calling him Mr. J, or when she like undoes the locks on his straitjacket. It's like it's an interesting story in the sense that hey, it's like the Joker like realizes that hey, like even though he doesn't say it, he looks at this and realizes, hey, this is someone that I can take with me. This is someone who, it's like who I don't have to kill. Someone who, it's like, hey, just like I can just take along with me to like further my point about people just being one bad day away from snapping. So I mean that's good. That's good and all, but I'm still feeling that like this that that this volume is kind of incomplete as it is. I mean, when we get the story of Harleen's fall, but it's like if Sejic is being given like the story, like the license to like tell the story on his own terms, then it feels kind of incomplete. Like what happens next? It's like so she. I mean. The end of the volume just kind of feels like so full of setup. Just like with Batman expressing regret about how he kind of sort of placed Dr. Quinzel in the Joker's path, and also like Harleen expressing her thoughts about how this feels just like a dream and all. Like I feel like there's more to this story, and I know this. These 3 issues sold like gangbusters, as did this hardcover that I'm talking to you about right now. So it's like this is a very good start, and I am very much looking forward to whatever Sejic does next with with Harleen, with the Joker, and it's like and also just not just to see for his fantastic art, but also just for like great control of the character as well. Because even though like his version of the Joker, like he mentions like he's kind of like a rock star, it's like someone who's like has this like addictive magnetism to him. But then I have to admit my favorite scene in this in this entire volume is this bit when Harleen goes to see the Joker for the in Arkham for the very first time, and the Joker he looks at her and he realizes it's like there's something missing. It's like I recognize you, but something is missing, and he pounds on the glass between them, and he's got this awful menacing face on him when he does this, and it provokes this the fear in Harleen's face, and he's like, "Oh, there you are! I knew you seemed familiar, just like that terror in your eyes." I mean, it's their relationship in a nutshell. I mean, she's drawn to him by his magnetism. It's like the fear he inspires. It's like, and he's just no good for her at all. That it's all going to end. That it's an awful, poisonous, toxic relationship between them. It's like, and here it is. It's like on the page. So, man, it's like I'm not really one for owning comic book art pages, but getting these pages, or at least a print or reproduction of them, would be something that I would definitely be interested in. So, even though my main complaint with this volume is that it feels incomplete. I'm waiting. I want to see more of It's like of the Joker and the Harleen relationship through Sayek's eyes. I want to see the fall. I want to see her realize that this guy was no good for her at all. It's like we don't get that here. It's just kind of like it's just kind of like teasing. It's tantalizing, but overall, it's really quite good. If you and those of you who like great comic book art, this is absolutely worth owning, because I think Sayek is a guy who he just does really impressive work, and that almost seems effortless, but it's really got a lot of smart composition behind it. So there you go. So yeah, absolutely behind this, but man, bring on volume 2. I know you haven't announced it yet, but this series and the hardcover sold like gangbusters. So come on, DC, let us know we're getting it. I mean, I know that. Oh, right. I'm sure that Sayek is also busy on drawing the further volumes of Sunstone. So whatever he's got coming at us next, whether it's a new volume of Sunstone or next volume of Harleen, then hey, I am all for it. So there you go. John, any thoughts on your end about any of this?
Well, that sounds intriguing. That's what I would have to say. Add some color to the existing, kind of mythos that's already there, right? So,
you got some familiarity with the Joker Harleen relationship,
yeah.
right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Even from the very first appearance in Batman the Animated Series, which is I think, and somebody out there might correct me, but I think the episode was Joker's Favor, and that's the episode where Harley Quinn makes her first appearance, and and it has to do with road rage, actually.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. So when
yeah.
the guy cuts off the Joker, and he lives to regret it.
Yep, exactly. But that kind of begins the whole thing, and I think later on in the 4th season, they expand a little bit on the story of Harley Quinn. Just but yeah, really interesting stuff. And we all know that she's a pretty popular character now,
Kind of popular, yeah.
Yeah, kind of popular, She has a cult following, that's for sure. Especially, I think the movie incarnations. A lot of people seem to like to cosplay as what was it? The Suicide Squad version of her, right? So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, just fascinating stuff to add to the whole pile. So, so what are you planning on talking about next time, sir?
Well, next time is a podcast several years in the making, because I've written about every volume of this series up to this point, except for the final one, and this will be my thoughts on Jason Aaron's run on Thor, from the beginning, the middle, the end, the very end, with King Thor. So there you go.
All right. Well, hey, we'll talk to you next time on Comic Picks by the Glick.
All right. Laters.
Bye.